I'm quite fit, right? And I don't mean that in I mean like physically fit. And now when I work out, I have to stop.
Where's Jesus?
It really hurts. Like
He's helping
her.
He only helps with CrossFit.
And welcome to another episode of the Three Speech Podcast. As ever, I'm the mad lad of Jihad. I'm joined by Mr. Dipsec Bird Gang, the Bajan sensation, Mr. Hate.
Continue.
Born to fly, baby. Mr. Hate Speech himself.
Zip zap, zippity zap.
The Gorilla Vanilla.
Hello.
And in a podcast first for the Three Speech Pod, only our second ever female guest, thus making it a
That's
second
not a first.
ever.
What do you mean a first ever second? Fucking
First.
It's the first time we've ever had a second
woman on the
on.
pod. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. And it's none other than comedian extraordinaire, Britain's Got Talent, Suzie Kennedy, who is somewhat, I could say this, red-pilled based and the world's #1 Marilyn Monroe impersonator.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to
the
the...
female impersonator.
No.
In Vegas, I literally
That would
won.
be Darius.
Yeah.
I won best female impersonator.
What do you mean best female?
Well, exactly. I was
Of all the
a
female
woman impersonator, but they called it female impersonator, but it wasn't like the way we see female impersonators now.
What is a female impersonator?
So do they have male
Someone
impersonators of Marilyn Monroe as well?
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe. There isn't a Marilyn Monroe, but I think it's a great name.
Yeah, if you wanted to be
Monroe.
a drag queen.
Yeah.
Drag
Although
queens do have some of the best names out there. My favourite is cerebral palsy. They're just so tragic and like dark, and I love that humour.
Oh, I got told one yesterday. I can't remember it. But it's funny because I was leaving my apartment yesterday and there was this guy and he was sitting in, what's those Porsches that are on 4x4 wheels?
Cayennes.
Cayennes, thank you. I can never say it. And he's like, oh my God, you is like the best looking girl I've ever seen in my life. And I was like,
Wasn't me.
yeah, it was Nico. And I was like, I'm not a girl. And his face, literally, he was shook. And I was like, no, I'm only joking. I'm a girl. He was so shook. He's like, please don't play me like that because I mean, my friend's like, you could have got shot for saying that. But I was like joking.
No, yeah.
But it's Canada Water and you lived there, so you know that you could possibly get shot for saying something.
I thought Canada Water was nice.
No, well, there was a quadruple homicide there the other day.
Really?
Yeah, yesterday,
What?
right?
No, was it
4
yesterday?
people killed.
Yeah.
Four people.
Why were they killed?
In one incident.
In one stabbing, I think. I think it was 4.
Stabbing?
Yeah, it's dark.
Jeez.
Yeah, thanks to
Horrible.
the Nextdoor app, I'm fully aware of all the stabbings that happen in the area.
Right.
Do you
Yeah.
look it up? I look up crime in the street. There's a website you can look up how many crimes
Yeah,
happen.
there was one years ago that I looked at when I moved to the area, and I discovered all the shootings that happened around London, all the sort of stabbings, and yeah, it was too late to back out.
I was actually walking by where the cinema is, and a guy pulled over 2 cars, and he got out with a big machete, and I was literally nearly like, my friend was just like, don't look. If you don't look and you keep walking, they're not going to bother you because they're not interested in you.
They're like Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a nice way to start the podcast.
T-Rex.
Yeah. But why were the 4 guys killed? Stabbed?
I think it was
Women.
it was a 20-year-old who stabbed up his family. I think it's
Oh,
right.
yes, I heard about that. Yeah.
I think it's
That was like yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heard about that.
That's what you just said.
Fun opening to the pod.
But yeah,
Local
well,
affairs.
I don't think the area is that bad.
No, it's really nice, but it's London, isn't it?
Yeah,
London
that's
at the
true.
moment. Everyone's mixed together, and
You can
So
go.
you want them segregated?
Yeah,
Is that?
people who stab in
Yeah.
one area.
I'm right on board. Come on. I've been telling Mitch we need to erect some barriers in this podcast studio.
I don't get it.
Do you know, I actually thought you were in a little box. I didn't realise that you were. When I watched it, I was like, why is he always in a box? Just come out and sit at the table.
Like a bus driver.
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
We could, yes.
Yeah, but you have to. You actually have to.
You got to say
Yeah.
something.
You
Can you
gotta-
hear
yeah.
us? We said it happened yesterday. You're like, when did that happen? Yesterday.
Yeah, you have to speak and join in, Nico. It's customarily how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait until it starts.
So where you were talking about Vegas? Like, what's it like performing out there?
So actually, before we do that,
Oh, you
let's
probably introduced me.
let's get to this. So why don't you give us a little brief biography of who you are, so everyone who doesn't know you and who's listening knows who you are. And if you are listening to this podcast, which we found out people do because we were the number 6 podcast on UK Stand Up, shout out to ourselves. Suzie Kennedy looks exactly like Marilyn Monroe. So that Suzie Kennedy.
Monroe.
I can't say her surname. Listen, I was calling you Marilyn Manson before you turned up, and then Leo was like, "Get it right."
That has happened. That's not the first time. No, so I started by accident. I've been doing this for 20 years ago, years. And like, I wasn't meant to do it. I was found on the street, which sounds really terrible. But, like, someone spotted me. I wasn't like living on the street. And they casted me in a commercial for After 8 Minutes with Stephen Fry, the real one, and Naomi Campbell, the real one.
way.
Yeah. It was
So that was
amazing.
your first gig as a...
My first gig. And my second gig was...
What? As Marilyn Monroe straight away?
Yeah, it's Marilyn Monroe.
And
it was so crazy.
Have you got pictures of what you looked like before?
Well, what it was is I don't know. Do you remember the product? Well, you wouldn't. Do you remember the product Sunnin?
Why are you looking at me? I wouldn't know that. I'm too young.
Do you remember Sunnin?
Darius is old.
There
Darius
was
is
this like
41.
Not
spray
fair.
that like
Okay.
skater boys would use, and it would dye your hair like orange.
Oh,
So I just like bleached my
You
hair.
said
with
that because
Sunnin.
I don't have hair? Or you said because...
I don't know. I gotta watch what I say on this. It's like ding, ding, ding. So then someone just spotted me, said you look like Marilyn Monroe. Auditioned for this commercial. I turned up. I'd never even seen like a Marilyn film. I went to Blockbuster Video. I'm aging myself now, right? Blockbuster Video. It's like walking into Netflix. You like in it and looking at the things. And I got a VHS. God, how old am I?
but we're all.
Yeah, we discussed having videos on VHS with like
wire.
corded with remotes.
I'm not that old.
Yeah.
I'm not Nico old.
I'm younger than you.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Who's younger out of you two?
I'm the youngest.
But I'm going to need to see some passports here.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
Blockbuster Video.
Wow.
You guys ever remember Love Film?
Yeah.
That was
You had to
basically
post it
That
back.
was
Netflix.
Pre-Netflix,
Yeah,
yeah.
just
Yeah.
before
Well,
Netflix.
Netflix started out like that as well. Started out sending films through the post. But yeah, so that was your first gig as...
Yeah, and it was
But did you have blonde, curly, short hair?
yeah, like
and-
a blonde hair, like in a bob, and then I just had to learn and trial and error. But in all
So
fairness,
you did.
I
Hang
looked
on. So you
cute
didn't
then.
know who she was at all?
Well, I knew who she was. It's like you know who Charlie Chaplin is, you know who Beyonce is. But if someone said to me, "Where was Beyonce born?" I don't know. I know who she.
America.
Yeah,
Blackpool.
exactly. Blackpool. I didn't know anything about her, so I went to this commercial and I got the job and. It was crazy. What was crazy is when I rented the film, I went and rented the VHS. When the screen opened up, there was Marilyn Monroe, right, in her like red glittering dress. And little did I know, like 10 years later, I'd be wearing that actual dress.
No
like,
way.
Mad.
Where it's like my whole life with Mary, it's like, well, you guys know I believe in God, right? But I also
Yeah.
believe that things are like destined to happen. And it was weird because I wore it on this morning, and I talk about this in my stand-up because I wore it on this morning, and as I was walking up and down, Philip Schofield, right, was like proper checking me out, and I said to my friend,
But he's gay.
Was he?
I know, exactly. And I said to my friend, I was like, oh, Philip Schofield, he can't stop looking at me. Like, I think he fancies me. And like years later, I was just like, definitely didn't fancy me. He probably just wanted to wear the dress. But, you know? But yeah, so it was weird. And then and then I got like Citroen C3 commercial. It was going mad. And that was on in the middle of Michael Jackson interview. I'm watching Michael Jackson interview, and then I pop up with a car commercial. It's mad.
Like, yeah.
What were you doing before? Just on the streets.
Just on the streets
Just on the
hustling.
streets.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into it here because this is the fun.
Wait, hang on. What
Laughing.
streets were these in America?
The streets of Peckham.
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 Yeah, Peckham and Bermondsey. Streetwise.
But you were originally born in America.
Yeah, I was born in America.
And did you live in America?
Well, I was a little baby, so my parents emigrated to live in America. My dad wanted the American dream, and back in like the late 70s, 80s, you go to America and you're a builder, you're going to be a millionaire,
Yeah.
right? So he's like, I'm not waiting here, I'm off. And my mum went, my sister went. I wasn't invented. I was still in...
Your dad's eyes. A glint in your
Exactly.
dad's eye.
Yeah, I was somewhere in my dad. And yeah.
Possibly testicles.
Exactly. And then I got born, and my dad was like wanted the American dream, and he found it.
Did he become a millionaire?
No, but he found the American dream.
What is the American dream then?
It was inside another woman.
Oh, so
Treacherous,
Right.
treacherous guy.
So we were left homeless, and my
I
mum
don't
came back.
understand. Explain.
He found
He cheated on his
cheated on
his
my mama.
mum.
Why is
Not
that
his
the
mum.
American dream?
We found the
That
American
was
dream
his dream.
inside a woman, but it was gone. So he left us, and we were homeless. And we came back and we were put up in the North Peckham estate, which is anyone's listening to this, and they're around in the 80s. Even the police wouldn't go to the North Peckham estate. You'd call the police, and they'll be like, "Get on with it."
Where's Rio
Right.
Ferdinand from?
Peckham.
Yeah, it was the same as Del Boy.
But
Del Boy's not.
Yeah.
That was not real.
so your dad not? Did he just cut all contact?
No, he came back and saw us a little bit, and then left us and lived in America, and then
Right.
committed suicide in Las Vegas.
Really?
Wow.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
I know. This is going to be like a happy podcast, but it's like I'm going to have to get my violin out in a minute. 'cause it's
Well, you
been
did build him up to be a
pretty
bit of a villain, at least. So,
Yeah.
But yeah. that's
Well, do you
still
know what?
tragic.
You reap what you sow. Sorry if people get offended by me saying that, but you know, you live a selfish life, you die a selfish death.
So
Well, that's deep. It's too deep for this podcast.
I just want to keep on living a selfish life. I don't want the death.
I just want to hear about Nico not sitting on toilet seats. That's why.
Yeah. What's your internet speed like? So yeah,
It's weird though because I never wanted to go to Vegas for that reason because
Right.
it's weird because he actually shot himself.
what was he doing in Vegas?
Gambling,
Right.
drinking, and womanizing.
Right.
And the hat
Good
trick of
life.
sins, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
kinda respect
it was
that.
weird because he killed himself in the Sands Hotel, which is like the home of like the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
And like Marilyn was there, which wasn't there that night. That'd have been mental. But so I never wanted to go to Vegas. And the first time I went to Vegas, I was nominated for like the lookalike Oscars.
Ooh.
And they were like, "You're going to come over?" And I went there, and me and the Donald Trump impersonator, God rest his soul, he's dead now.
What, the Donald Trump impersonator?
Oh, he's brilliant. He's
Or was.
absolutely He was absolutely brilliant.
He died.
And imagine when did he die?
He died last year.
January
Not-
6th.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
So he did at least get to like take advantage of the fact that Donald Trump got even more famous.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing for him. You know,
Is there-
people
is-
love Donald Trump. They say they don't like him, but I'll tell you something. When you go out with a Donald Trump lookalike, he gets mobbed.
Yeah.
People want pictures and selfies, and they love him.
I love
him.
Donald Trump.
Do you? Though? Like,
Yeah.
The thing is, though,
Funny.
like, man, anyone with an eye and see what's looking at, like, since Biden's been in charge, people are like, I've got a newfound appreciation for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he said some stupid stuff on Twitter, but if you look at the guy's record, no wars,
Yeah.
killed less people objectively,
Yeah.
economy was thriving.
Yep.
The only thing he did wrong, if you know, is he was outspoken.
Yeah.
They would rather right now the left, the Democrats, rather have like someone say nice platitude. Well, actually, it's completely typical of the left. Nice platitudes and say the right thing, then stab, kill, and maim.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
and also Donald Trump, man, people say, oh, but his government was ineffective and they couldn't get anything done and all the rest of it. And it's like, they see that as a negative. For me, like, government being hamstrung by ineffectiveness is a total bonus. If the government can't do anything, it can't interfere in people's lives. So that's seen as a weakness of him is actually a strength if you're just a citizen trying to live their life.
well, you know the whole grab a pussy thing. You know obviously
Yeah.
everyone knows that. So I went to LA and I got to meet Billy Bush. I've got a picture of me and him.
Who is Billy Bush?
He was
So
the
he was
first
the-
one to get grabbed by Donald Trump.
Yeah, he was the other voice.
Ah,
So
okay.
Billy Bush, I think he's either nephew of George Bush.
Something like that.
So he presents E. So we went to the E studios and we met and we had a pitch taken with him. We had a long chat with him and he was so nice. And I'm going to call my friend out on this. My friend hates Donald Trump and hated Billy Bush. But as soon as he met Billy Bush, he was like, my God, he's so hot. What a nice guy. And that's the thing. I think that when you...
If you're more attractive enough, you can get away with whatever.
Yeah,
you
but
say.
also
Yeah.
the thing is like, you know what you talk about to your friends, like even
Yes.
women, right? If someone went through your text messages or what you say to your friends, like when you're angry, like even Johnny Depp now, they're talking about what Johnny Depp said about, burn my girlfriend and all. You're talking to your friends and like you say things that you probably don't even mean.
Yeah.
Do you know? And it's like, I don't think it was really fair. And I know people hate me. Like I got attacked yesterday for putting a picture of me and Piers Morgan up, who's always been really, really nice to me and supportive. Really helped my career a lot.
He wants to shag you.
Do you know what? I've got to tell you, I was friends with Stephen Hawking, right?
He wanted to shag you.
Everyone
Hey,
always says
baby.
that. They always say, if mine's nice to you, they want to shag you. But honestly, I was
I
like,
have something for you.
is it true?
Can you move my joystick?
Well, you're attractive. I think that's
my
what
penis.
what the guys are trying to get at. But
Yeah, but I was at this party. Well, we finished. I was invited to Stephen Hawking's. Was it when they? Put
he
you
was
in
a
the ground?
shagger as well.
Yeah.
I know, I
He
can't
kind
believe
of
that.
he kind of got his end away a lot, like
Yeah.
just reversing into all sorts of clunge.
Literally reverse.
Yeah.
See, I've met him. I was in the Theory of Everything, so I've
You were in the theory of everything.
Yeah, so I've met the
I watched
lookalike
that.
version of Stephen Hawking with Eddie Redmayne, and I've met the real one. The lookalike one was a lot nicer looking. Gotta say, if I had to reverse onto someone, it'd be that one. But yeah, and it's like I don't know where I was going with that, but I just think I couldn't really imagine him chatting anybody up.
But
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
when you're famous, you don't need to chat up anyone.
Well, this is the
When
whole
you're
point that
famous.
Donald Trump was saying. So this is like going back to that. It's like, women are going to hate me for this, but if someone says to me, well, Dave Chappelle, I'm name dropping like mad, and I went and saw Dave Chappelle in Berlin, right? And I was like in the third row, and he spotted me, and he was just like, wow, it's Marilyn Monroe. And we had all this banter. I ended up becoming like part of the show, and it was just before lockdown. And he said to me, like, if I invited you in my hotel room at 3:00 in the morning to talk about comedy, would you come? And he goes, oh, would you think that, I wanted something else? And I think 3:00 in the morning, you're probably not inviting me to talk about comedy.
Yeah.
I am.
And the woman booed from up the butt and
That's
and
because
Dave-
she wasn't in. But no,
Yeah. Well, it was lovely though, because he invited me backstage afterwards, not in that sort of way. So
Yeah.
his PA come and got me. I went and got my friends, and we hung out in his little red room with all these other people.
But
and
not-
it was so nice.
Not everybody's got those sort of smarts, because a lot of Hollywood actresses, they were like Harvey Weinstein would be like, oh, do you want to come and talk about your career in my hotel room at 3 a.m? And they went and they'd be like, well, who's taking minutes? And then Harvey would get his dick out. And it's such a shame. They had no idea that Harvey didn't actually want to talk about their career. He wanted to bone them.
Well, Harvey Weinstein, he had a restaurant in New York, some steak place in the lower east side, or not lower east, but low town, whatever, downtown. And he used to, low town. And he used to have a room in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And he would go off because it's part of a building. He'd have a room just to take the dates and then have his way with them.
Right.
By have his way, I mean anal, and then return them back to the restaurant.
I'm
Right.
going to get hated, but to me, that's the difference between a transaction and people know this if they see my show. I was abused from the age of 12. Actually, it was a proper police investigation. It was terrible. Abuse of a child is a lot different than an adult woman making a decision to, it's different. We're sitting in this room here, right? We're in Vauxhall. We've come upstairs. We're in a public place. If you guys start, you know what you're coming in to do this podcast. But if you were like, oh, I've had loads to drink, and it's like,
I would never do that.
He does that after one drink.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a different dynamic. It's a different dynamic. And if you're a grown woman,
Darius is just start filming you if you had a poo in your bum.
I think
The callback.
The point we like that, and I subscribe to the same point, is you do what we say in this podcast room before we go on air is crazy, and we don't mean half of the stuff we say.
Yeah.
And what Donald Trump and Billy Bush was saying was it was kind of locker room talk, which is what they sort of excused it as. But when you're in that sort of limelight, when you're a presidential candidate, the opposition and detractors are going to always just make as much of a bigger deal about a point as anything. And everyone kind of ignores what they do in their life and go, well, I don't like this guy, so I'm going to jump on this side and go, yeah, that is actually ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like if all our, as you said, all our WhatsApp messages were published, we would all be cancelled. There'll hardly be anybody standing.
And everyone. Everyone, because someone will be upset by everything.
That's what amazes me actually, when people are so judgmental, because I believe that if you act like that, somebody's going to come and bite you on the bum.
Yeah.
If you out what?
Well, if you're really
judgmental.
judgmental, to me, it's like I feel that I have to watch everything I say, and I think, God, I hope no one would ever show that text message from. I would say, I've got less in common with myself in 2008 than I have now, right? But you still make jokes, and you still, I don't know, what I want to be like if Judgment Day and Jesus reads all my text messages to me,
the shit I've said about him.
Right? But it's a joke, right? I'm a Christian,
exactly.
but to me, it depends how someone says something.
Well, yeah, and the most judgmental people like Chris Coltrane in comedy, he was like this really before your time, but really right on the most like socialist, vote for Corbyn, like, this is what a feminist looks like, all that kind of stuff. And like the most right on.
Allegedly.
Nah, 100%. Chris Coltrane can fucking sue me if he wants to, because he got called out. Apparently he was.
This is true.
He got called out. Apparently, he was but some of the stuff he was doing apparently was like getting women at parties that had too much to drink and dragging them off and whatever. And a woman called him out on, I can't remember, her name started with M. Called him out on Twitter. Said that when he was going on some like big crusade rant about how everybody should be a feminist and stuff, and she's like, listen, you followed me around, you kept grabbing my ass and all this sort of stuff, and I told you to stop. And then Chris Coltrane just disappeared overnight, like literally disappeared. Website gone. Like, man, he'd been doing all his comedy night gone.
Although we saw him in the gym.
Yeah, but that was before he like disappeared.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Terrible body.
But that's a bit like when Dave Chappelle, I think it was Dave Chappelle, when he said if Louis C.K., they were saying like he was masturbating over the phone to me, and he's like, girls, have you ever heard of like putting the phone down? just put the phone down.
Yeah.
Girls do love to chat though. So
yeah. Well, yeah, and all the Harvey Weinstein women that man, they got that because you're talking about it as a sort of transactional thing. Because man, they knew what they were doing. They were going like, and they were Harvey Weinstein was making them Hollywood stars. It's like, man, I would love to suck that dick that gets me like a tens of millions of pounds career in Hollywood. And then at the end of it, after Harvey's fully delivered on his fucking promise, they come back and they're like, I want some more money. And then they like tear him down. They're like, Harvey Weinstein invited me to his hotel room. And like, they never say like, and he totally carried on with his side of the deal. Man, there's people sucking dick for like $40. These women got such a good deal. And this is one of the ways that we're discriminated against. We will never get to suck Harvey Weinstein's dick to get ahead in Hollywood.
I think it's because they when the roles dried up, that's when they went like,
I
don't know.
But last week, right, wasn't your friend, I can't remember his
Tony.
name. He was like sexually harassed then.
Yeah, but it's funny when it happens to a man.
Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah, it's just like,
yeah.
Even if it's like deeply traumatic, it's even funnier.
That is going on in TV and with like.
Well, not enough for the Three Speech podcast.
I've got another mate who worked at pretty high level comedy shows, and when he was starting out in TV as a runner, there's a woman who's one of the like all the hashtag women. Believe all women and all the rest of it. And she was totally like preying on him, and like in the taxi she'd be like putting her hand on his dick and all that sort of stuff.
Oh wow!
So, and that was when he was like 20 kind of thing.
Thing is, if anyone tried it on with any of us, but also riddled with autism, we wouldn't realize.
I would just be grateful for the attention.
Yeah. So what you're saying is like people have agency. And they're responsible for their own action. And actually, if we're talking about woken people, they don't believe people have agency. Women can't be held responsible for whatever
everything occurs in a power structure, and there's nothing you can do about that power. Like Harvey Weinstein's got power. You can't turn around to him and be like, wait a minute, Harvey, what the fuck you doing?
I think it's also important to say that that it's not all.
Oh, here comes Mooch defending the nonsense again. Oh, why can't you suck off? Why can't you suck off a 4-year-old? Oh, come on.
No. All I'm
teach it in school
is that like you're not there in every situation and sort of making these sweeping.
I got a pretty good idea what goes on.
All right.
Listen, this is the sweeping generalization pod.
But it is true. But I think the sad thing is that the fact that you have to say that.
Sweeping generalization.
We always have to keep saying that. And that's the problem. It's like.
Well, this is a comedy podcast, and obviously
people
there's
have got brains. Like if I'm like I'm dressed like this today because I want to look good on TV, but
this isn't TV.
On this screen, that's good enough for me. Right?
On YouTube.
But it really helps get your own way. Like I got through the shortcut because Marlon nearly his eyes fell out, and he was like, "Whoa, come through here, come through there." And go, do you know what I mean?
Whereas that's the real privilege.
It's a female privilege that everyone has their own privileges.
And I tell you something, my friend was like, "Enjoy that because when you hit 60, you disappear. Like literally, you disappear." She goes, "You don't know, no one sees you."
Unless
is
it's
like-
Tim Westwood.
Oh, that's
Well,
Is that-
exactly.
What was the Tim Westwood?
Tim Westwood. Like, there's a story.
Happened
We've got
today.
it.
But
in
that
the
was
thing.
the thing ages ago, man. I was
Yeah, when
hearing
he
that
was 60.
ages
He's
ago,
now
man.
72.
Is
Tim
he?
Westwood 72?
Is Tim
Nah, he's
Westwood
64. He's 64.
Let me see a picture of Tim Westwood. He looks great.
Everyone's aging.
That's what
Yeah,
happens.
that's
Well, obviously.
Yeah. Is that something that you worry about? Because obviously, if you're a Donald
Yeah.
Trump impersonator, Donald Trump's getting older, and like you get older with them. But if you're Marilyn Monroe, she's fixed in time. Is like because she
Exactly.
died when she was 36.
Exactly. So like I've been dead for 9 years.
what?
Do you know what I mean? Like that's quite scary. So like people go, "Oh, you're too old. You're too old." And this thing like about ageism and I don't know, but is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've had fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I've lived 20 lives.
Yeah. Well, you still look like. I mean, I don't know how old you
That's
are.
the
I've never asked,
power
but
of
like.
Botox. I'm 45 years old.
Holy shit!
What? She just
Oh my
literally said,
Yeah, but he
I've
can't
been
Can I
dead
do
for
maths?
9 years.
I don't have the maths autism.
You said
I've just
she-
got the social autism.
You said 36 and 9.
He doesn't look bad.
He looks like a turtle.
He looks like he's got AIDS. He looks like
Yeah, he
Adam
looks-
Sandler with AIDS.
It does look quite
Does
skinny
look-
there.
Yeah. It looks terminal. No, but I mean, like he kind of looked okay on that one, just above there. But
So what's he done?
he's been accused of
Grabbing boobs.
essentially Weinsteining
Boobs and
people.
ass.
But-
Not as bad as Weinstein.
No, so there's 7
Touching.
I had a quick read about this earlier today. There's been 7 women who've come forward, and there's been murmurings on social media for a while
For
now.
ages now, but I heard like 4 years ago I heard about him. Or some
Yeah, I
shit.
think it kind of pops off every now and again.
So what, he grabbed? Who were these? Who did he grab? Was it people who
some-
worked for him, or like?
No, young
He'd have
aspiring
concerts
talent.
and yeah.
He'd sort of pick out some girls and
I thought that's what like DJs and rock bands did. I thought that was just like.
This is the whole groupie thing, isn't it? Where does it become all the groupies now? Were they all like raped? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It's a fine line.
This is the
isn't it?
it's a dangerous world if you're into shagging your fans, and I think also that
They got 3 speech pod. We're going to be okay. Our fans are all about 48-year-old
Crazy
men.
men.
Yeah.
Crazy nutters.
Shout out Dr. Kittenbender.
I was just thinking about it.
And then the Ovaltine guy, who I think is the same person.
Yeah,
But
100% he would wear our skin. But yeah,
You either wear your skin or he'd wear your skin
to
out.
Coyote. The Ovaltine.
yeah.
Von Professor, yeah, he came to Coyote
Oh,
in
did he?
Glasgow.
What's he like in real
Darius was there.
Is
I
that-
didn't
Darius
see him. I
missed
didn't see him. I missed him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gutted.
shit.
Oh, he came
Nice,
to your
a nice
show.
guy, man. Yeah, nice
where-
guy. Yeah.
Wild on Twitter.
Yeah, man. And
But yeah, I think so. Like, I think a lot of people's umbrage is also because of the age difference. He was like 52 when a lot of these girls were 19, 20 and stuff like that. which-
1920
That's
is legal.
appropriate.
Though.
100%. Some
But
people
here's the thing,
have
I
a moral
think-
compass that, and they're
I think
like,
it's more
I can't-
disgusting when they're the same age.
David Bowie gets a pass for all of this shit.
Yeah.
David
Led
Bowie-
Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones.
Rolling
Them men get a
Stones.
pass for everything, man.
yeah, well,
but
make
then they
better
go
music.
after. Huh?
Make better music.
Nah, they go after MJ, who made the best music in the world.
Yeah, but he was going
But-
after 8-year-olds.
But
It wasn't.
And he
David
definitely
Bowie-
was. And
was
his
not.
costume designer isn't here to defend him, so I can say what I like about MJ.
So Susie was going to bring along Michael Bush, who was the costume designer for Michael Jackson for his entire career,
Yeah.
and he agreed to do it, which would have been amazing because I would have got us a 3-speech makeover and say start with this 6'8" guy who wears avocado
Darius,
shirts.
You're
I'm not
basically
wearing- I'm wearing
going
a-
to just be putting a fucking white shirt, some
Yeah.
tight black trousers, and you'll look exactly like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
Anyway, he wisely decided not to come on at the last minute because he thought it probably would be problematic for his career, so he didn't
Yeah.
come on.
Well, he didn't say that. I sent you the text message. He said, "I'm really jet lagged. I feel really ill, and I'm going to make it up to you guys." So you never know.
I can read between the lines.
Yeah, no, me too. Me too. I was trying to be nice.
But yeah, what was this?
You were talking about Michael
David
Jackson.
Bowie.
Oh, David Bowie,
Yeah. Because he apparently he had sex with like a 14-year-old or
Well,
something.
the
did?
Beatles as well. Apparently, basically their fans were all just teenage girls, and you can't tell the difference. You know, I can't tell the difference between some teenagers who are 15 or some who are
You're not in court now,
19.
Mooch.
Mooch the nonce speaks again.
They're interested in me.
Can't
But
tell if it's a 5-year-old.
If you're in the swinging
19.
60s, they had stories of parents bringing their children and
Yeah.
and stuff.
Bring
like
your
that.
daughter to the slaughter.
Yeah,
Bring
Well, Bill
your daughter.
Wyman. Bill Wyman.
Married.
And yeah, they.
Who is
like
Bill
13.
Wyman?
So he was the
Wyman.
bassist in the Stones.
And he married who?
Mandy Smith.
How old was she?
She was 13
13.
when they started dating.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Is he still around, Bill Wyman?
He's still alive.
Was,
yeah.
was the age of consent different back then, or
No.
He married her at 13.
He dated her at 13, right?
Yeah,
What
and
was
then
her
married her when
parents
she
doing?
married her when she was. I think she was still underage when he married her. He married her at like 15 or 16. It was mental.
isn't it illegal in Scotland in one place or something like that?
Gretna.
Gretna Green.
There's I don't know what the people from England used to go and get. You didn't need a witness. I think that's what it is.
Well, they didn't need witnesses for this shit like that.
You think you can't keep asking people for birth certificates. Definitely don't ask for mine. I don't have one. But it's like, I don't know. It's a rough one. I mean, I'm a good girl now. I'm a Christian, but there has been people that I've been drunk and I've woke up and I've gone, because you're on stage. You're on stage, right? And when you're on stage, you get off stage. Like literally, I say put the ugliest. I mean, we're all quite attractive,
Yeah.
right?
That's
But you
right,
can
yeah.
put the ugliest person on stage. I hope my friends aren't listening to this. I've got some ugly friends that literally have scored the most beautiful people because they've got a microphone in their hand.
Yeah, I tell people this: money, power, fame. You know what I mean? You don't need to be good looking.
Oh. I mean, I
Money,
dated a
power,
Chippendale,
fame,
right? I
and
dated a Chippendale.
Yeah.
And we were on tour. They're in Vegas, but they were on tour in Germany. I was in Germany. And things you should say, this is going to be on the internet. And the next day, we were in the lobby waiting to like go to the next place, and there was these women calling their husbands, saying, "Yeah, we stayed at her husband's just making us breakfast, and the kids are all right." And they'd been with the Chippendales.
Those
that night.
slags.
No way.
So it's not just.
They've been getting rattled by fucking Chippendales.
Yeah, so it's not.
We need to
just-
bring up. There needs to be an Islamic revolution in this country.
Jihad.
We need, yeah.
You ever
it's
seen
not-
Swinging Bear?
No,
The
what's
porn
that?
site?
No.
It's literally that. It's these men who dress up in like bear costumes. They
Doesn't
start
sound like this.
stripping. They start stripping and they're at like Hindus.
Right.
And all a lot of the women are married and whatnot, and then they just start sucking off the stripper and whatnot. But they're
Right.
like married women.
I mean,
So
I-
that's
Like,
But is that real?
swingingbear.com.
Is that
It's
real?
real, yeah.
How do you know it's real? Because a lot
you
of
can
porn,
tell. It's a lot. You
fake
can tell.
taxi isn't a real fake taxi.
no, you can
Ori
It's a fake
Styler
taxi.
was doing something similar for some group of guys. I think the Chocolate Man or something.
Chocolate City.
Chocolate City, and he was saying how the stories are wild.
Yeah.
What happens? Like there's, you know how in male strip clubs and stuff, there's a strict no touching thing.
Yeah.
It's actively encouraged, and what goes on at Chocolate City or at the Chippendales or whatever man sausage fest stays at that sausage fest, and it is wild.
Man,
Crazy, yeah.
we need to.
It's a weird thing, like when you get a Hindu together and like the inhibitions and stuff go just
The
go-
alcohol.
Well,
starts
the thing is that
flowing, yeah.
obviously being a lookalike, he's like my brother. We started at the same year as the David Beckham lookalike. Andy Harmer's his name. He's the best David Beckham.
Bring him up so we can see what
Andy
he looks
Harmer,
like.
right? So
Andy
Well,
Harmer.
he looks like
we
David
started.
Beckham.
He
Well, I
looks
wanna see how
exactly
much
like
he
David
looks like
Beckham.
David
But he
Beckham.
would be regularly sexually assaulted at gigs.
By men or
Regularly.
women?
By women. So
That's not
it's-
sexual assault.
Well, this is the thing. But to him, it was right.
He's
So
kind of changed, if I'm honest.
we're walking around, and like if men grabbed
What?
my boobies, look when he's a bit younger.
well, that he looks bang on there,
Yeah.
but he looks like
He loves
He
bang
put
on where.
He put on a bit of weight.
yeah.
Almost.
Well, the one that looks like Beckham there.
That's the first one. Is him. He put on a little bit of weight later on.
Yeah. He looks
didn't
like
get
he
very
looks like him
well.
there, but not so much in the second one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's got some great pictures. But like,
You look like Hal Crittenden.
yeah, look at that one. Like, look at him with Prince William. That's Simon who does Prince William. Look at them together. You would think that's David Beckham and Prince William, right?
Yeah,
Where? Which
I
one?
guess.
The
This
one
one,
in the
Prince
middle.
William, and
Oh yeah. Well, man, Prince
Anyway.
William got
And it-
ugly, man.
He
He was.
bald.
He
well,
was.
we have
He
to
was.
to
replace
get to
our Prince
Turkey.
William lookalike because they literally changed. He changed faces, Prince William.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine being a Prince Andrew lookalike?
Yeah.
I met
can't.
Prince Andrew.
What was he like?
Really nice, but it was
I
at a
bet he
party
was.
with Naomi Campbell. It was weird because I'd done the commercial with Naomi Campbell,
It was
and
weird because you're of age.
I got phoned by, I won't say who it was, a newspaper head, and they wanted a story on Naomi Campbell, and they offered me a lot of money to sell it.
How much money?
A lot.
Well, tell me how much is a lot.
Well, it was back in like 1999, so it's like $5,000.
Yeah, it's a
That's
lot.
quite a lot of money.
Yeah,
back
that's a lot
then.
of money.
And I wouldn't sell a story on her, and she was lovely to me. Because I wouldn't sell anything, later on I went to this party and she was there and we took pictures together. I still got the picture of me and her together. She was really nice. But there was a guy in the corner and he was so sweet and he was just standing there and everyone was like enjoying themselves. So I kept talking to him, trying to get him a drink. And it turned out they'd it was Prince Andrew's protection officers. They had one in every single corner of the party. So yeah, he had protection officers.
So where were they when he was noncing?
Yeah, like what?
Where were all the police when he was noncing?
No tables.
They
at
were
Pizza
talking to me.
Express.
I was trying to get him a drink.
Don't become an accomplice.
That's pretty turn out like, don't watch her. She's the one that caused it.
What is your best celebrity scandal story or something? Can you tell us stories that we don't know or anything like that?
There's no celebrity scandals, and if there was, I'd sell him for 10 grand. But like, I've met everybody. I mean, one of my favourite.
All right, I've got a better question then.
Go on.
If you've met everyone,
Yeah.
who are the biggest cunts and who are the nicest
Do you know what?
people?
I tell you who are the biggest CUNTs are reality stars.
Really?
I
Yeah,
can
so
imagine
I've
that.
met like Madonna. I've met Madonna. I sung for Madonna, and it was actually, it shows you how old it was. It was when she was with Guy Ritchie, and they told us that night she was pregnant with Rocco. And now I see Rocco, and he's like, I think he's married or something, right? And I was like, I remember him being conceived.
And is Madonna part of the Illuminati? Does she take adrenochrome and drink children's blood?
I don't know, but I might get in trouble for this. I went to a party at One Marylebone once, and I honestly thought it was an Illuminati party.
Oh, really?
There was
Why?
a lot of politicians there that act like they don't like each other, and there was a lot of people that were there that actively are not, but they were like best mates and having a great time.
Was anyone sacrificed?
Me.
Did anyone? Have you ever been to a party where you've seen them like wearing, you know, like weird eyes wide shut?
Well, no, but the weird thing was, it's like when we were there, they had these. Everyone's phone was taken off them, so we couldn't. So they can't prove that I'm telling the truth right now, but.
Fine, we're not bothered
what's his
about that.
name? Rothschild appeared on the screen, and they were all like, "Ooh!"
What?
And I turned to my friend. I was like, "Is this like an Illuminati party?" He's like, "I don't know." I was like, "It's weird."
What, he appeared as just a still image,
Oh, you
or
should have told me
talking?
Talking on there.
Oh,
and he's
okay.
like, and the Prince of Iran. I'm gonna get shot, aren't I? The Prince of Iran was there, and he's like, oh, and I was like, I didn't know Iran had a prince.
That's right, they do.
But he spoke like Prince William. He's like, "Yeah, hello," and I'd sing to his dad.
What was the Rothschild guy saying?
He was just saying it's good to have us all together, and then they had these little their little crest come up.
What was the
Sounds
party
like an
for?
Illuminati
That's
party.
all right.
Yeah, that was a part
Was
of
it?
Yeah.
I don't really know if I believe in the Illuminati. I mean,
Darius
You were
was
at one of
almost,
the parties.
Darius was almost scouted by them. Like they asked Darius to join.
Oh yeah,
What happened
I
with that?
remember when they
Did
were
you ever
texting
join?
me. He started
that's
texting
funny.
me from another number, and I was going on. He went, "Oh, send me the $850 to join the Illuminati." I
And you
said,
sent it.
well, I said, "Can't you just take it from my first 1 million payment?" He said, "No, it's not how it works." And I said, "Listen, I'll send it to you, but I'm not happy with the house. You're giving me $1 million bonus and a 250 grand house. I live in central London. That's not. That's like a studio apartment.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an insult to the Illuminati."
Would you? Because that was like a joke.
Yeah.
I hope it was. That guy was crazy.
Yeah.
But
Scam.
If,
Yeah.
Well, that's a scam.
Well, I didn't say that. Don't sue me, Illuminati.
because you watch these things, don't you? Like, you know, these edit videos where they've got like Katy Perry and all them going, "I sold my soul to the devil."
We already showed those.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Would if someone came to you and said like, "Would you sell your soul?"
Yeah, but I'd lie to them. I pretend to sell it, and that's so long, suckers. I was lying.
But that's still a legal contract. You've entered into a contract with Satan.
Yeah, but then I.
But
and then
not
I
if your
was-
fingers are crossed.
Yeah, not if I'm lying to him.
That's not how contracts work.
Yeah,
Actually,
well-
no. I got out of a legal contract. I had that agent, Jacob Howe Douglas.
Okay, allegedly.
No, I definitely did.
No, anytime we say names now, I just say allegedly, so we're not defaming them.
Yeah, but he wanted he wanted money. Apparently, I signed this contract that I had to give him money off the money I made, even though I wasn't getting. He was getting me like a couple of things or whatever. And so I went to Australia. He phones me, emailing me in Australia. He's like, "Oh, you need to transfer me
Fuck
money."
off, Leo.
And then he phones me up and he's like, "You got to give me money for Australia." I'm like, "I'm not giving you any money for like." He wanted like $5,000 or something. I'm not giving you any money for the money
$5,000.
I'm making in Australia. And he's like, "But Leo, you signed a contract." I was like, "Yeah, but obviously I didn't read the contract before I signed it." And that beat him. That was 4D chess, because you can't argue with somebody who hasn't read a contract.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "You know what, Leo? I couldn't give a flying fuck anymore. Fuck off. You're fired." Which
You
is
should,
inter-
you should have
You
said,
went,
"No, I
that's
fire you."
Donald Trump's line.
yeah, which I didn't know I was working for him, so
Yeah.
that was interesting.
I
So-
paid Italian taxes, and I got a film role. It's a massive film. It's for Leonardo Pidoccioni, who is like Ricky Gervais or Ben Stiller of Italy. He's a super famous comedian. And I got a phone call saying, "Would you come and audition?" I was like, "I'm not auditioning. I don't know who you are." And they paid me to audition. I went there, and it was like the big studios in Italy. And I was like, "Oh, I've messed up here. This guy's like massive," and he had all of his team. Anyway, I found out I got 100,000 like whatever Italian
Lira.
euros then.
Oh,
It wasn't that long ago for this film.
Holy shit.
I ended up getting 10 grand.
No way.
Yeah.
How come?
Right? Because I've got no one around me, and then the agent said, that is Italian taxes. And he said, because people in Italy don't pay tax, and if you're like, that's not, sorry, but some don't.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
It's a stereotype
And
which
they
we
were
encourage.
like, and they were like, and he was just explaining it to me, and I just saw this money go.
Yeah.
And like to this day, I don't know if anyone here is from the Italian embassy. Please recheck that out because I'd like to sue them. But all that money just was like gone.
John.
Well,
That's like
90%.
doing Edinburgh. Actually, at least you got some money.
Yeah, well, then I had to pay the English tax. So it's just like,
when I
what's the
did
point?
the paid fringe,
Yeah.
oh my god! Like I sold all these tickets, sold like 12 grand's worth of tickets or whatever, and then I'm like, I must be getting at least a couple of grand of this. At the end of it, they're like, nah, this went on this, this went on this.
You owe us 5 grand.
Yeah. Literally, well, I didn't owe them any money because they were like, "Oh, we'll cover any losses." I'm like, "Cover any losses? I sold 12 grand's worth of tickets. Like, how do I not get How do I not get a penny?"
Yeah, nothing.
That's like my show. I've got my show coming up, and you just once you've paid everything, you're like, I'm doing this for. Might as well just go and sing Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
Let's sing
Are
Happy
you doing a
Birthday.
show in Edinburgh?
No, I'm doing a show at Crazy Cox on the 15th, 14th
Crazy
of
Cox.
May. Do you know Crazy Cox? What a great name for a venue. But it's Cox as in like hens. And it's in
Right.
Piccadilly. It's in Piccadilly. It's with my band and everything. It's a beautiful venue. It's very posh. It's a posh venue. Very, very posh.
So are you still doing the stand-up comedy and stuff?
Well, this is the weird thing, right? So if you Google me, when I Googled me, it came up as Suzie Kennedy comedian. Can I just please explain something? I'm not a comedian. Weirdly, I know. Sorry to break that to you, like on your comedy, but it's weird because I do comedy in my act. But you know, like everyone calls themselves a comedian. You guys know this, right? If you've done like you made a joke, you're suddenly a comedian. Anyway, I did this course with Mike Gunn, and I was actually really funny. Put the video up, and Britain's Got Talent called me, and were like, "We want you on Britain's Got Talent as a comedian." And I'm like, "But I'm not a comedian." And they were like, "Well, you're funny, so that makes you a comedian."
Yeah.
So, and now it's like. That's what.
How far did
people
you get in
call
Britain's Got
me.
Talent?
Well, we got locked down, didn't we? So I'd gone through, but we got locked down, COVID.
And then
Oh,
it just
right.
My
that
life
ended.
was so good. Do you know, before COVID, I had £80,000 off of work booked in. I'd met Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
I was living in LA. I was doing a show in Hollywood with all the people from RuPaul's Drag Race. I met the people at Just for Laughs. They're like, we can sort you out on this. And I was like, my time has come. And then they're like, goodbye.
And it went
So what?
lockdown.
They
Horrible.
didn't carry on with that season of Britain's Got Talent? They
Yeah,
just
it all,
ended
went,
it?
it all went really weird. But also, I've got to be careful what I say there. A lot of Britain's Got Talent you're invited on because I didn't audition.
What do you mean?
They saw me on YouTube.
Oh yeah, they've done that to me as well. I got
Yeah,
Brit-
I've gotten the emails.
I
as
got
well,
Britain's
yeah.
Got Talent to fly me back from New York. That I was in New York. They said we want you on Britain's Got Talent. I was
Are
like,
you on it?
yeah, well,
I was on it as well.
Yeah, I was on it.
Yeah.
a few times. I was on it twice.
Pun man.
One time.
Really? As Pun Man?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, is that you?
When I was stressed, I didn't make it onto the show. I'm in the background of some of the scenes, but I didn't. They didn't broadcast
Did you
my
do
bit.
auditions?
I did twice. They did the same thing. One time they called me and they said, "Come on, Britain's Got Talent." I went, and this was when it was still rubbish. So I was like, "No, I'm not coming on it." And they went, "You just come in." I said, "Look, I'm not coming. I'm not auditioning. I can't be bothered." I went, "All right, if you come, we promise you don't have to audition. You just go straight in to see the producers." And we'll let you go. So I walked. I think it was at not the O2. What's the one in East London? Excel Centre in East London.
Oh,
Was it in front of an
Dockland.
audience, or was it when you just do it in the office?
It was in. I did mine in front of the audience, but the queue was so long to get in. I walked in. I did 5 minutes in front in like just a room with like 2 people there. I did my 5-minute set I had, and then they just said, "Oh yeah, you go." They put you through to the judges. Then you go to the, and I told them again, I said, "Listen, I'll go do it, but I'm not waiting around. You know, I'm a diva." Then they made me wait around when I got to the theatre or wherever they do it in London. And I went on, the Ant and Dex beat you for like 2 minutes before you go on stage. You go on stage and you do your 5 minutes. But I wasn't good enough as a comedian, but also, still not, but when you're a comedian, you walk out and you have the power when you have the mic,
Yeah.
right? But immediately as a comedian, you go out and they're like, "So who are you? Where are you from?" It's like, wait, I should be asking you that.
Yeah. So
you-
they're the high status in the room.
So you
yeah.
instantly lose your thing. And then I just started and it was just like, it's like, because you're like going, "Hi, yeah, I'm so. And now let's do some comedy."
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
It's a change, it's shifting.
Yeah.
So it does it
Comedy's
quite...
got to feel just real and authentic. It's not like playing an instrument or anything.
So then it was just like, a gradual, like gradual death. And then when you hear the beep on Britain's Got that, meh, it's so loud when you're on the stage.
Yeah.
Amanda Holden gave me the
Yeah, I heard the beep, then I heard the beep, and then I saw David Williams' hand just floating over, and he looked at me. I went, and he was like, meh. Then he went, you could still go and do comedy at the thingy, try out. Anyway, and then a few years later, they asked me back again. I was in New York when I can't do it, and they went, "Oh, we've got a budget. We'll fly you back." So I just treated it as like a free flight. And then then I had Simon Cowell wasn't there. I got all yeses. And then they didn't put me through anyway. So even if you go through, they don't put you through.
Somebody, when I was on it, there was a guy, Mark, some musical comedian, Scottish guy, not Mark Lawson, I can't remember his name, but he went through it. Man, he was elated, absolutely delighted. You know, they had the fourth things, everybody's cheering, and like, you know, he's through. Then he never turned up in the show. Like they put lots of people through and only picked some of them.
They do tell you, even if you get the buzzes, doesn't mean you're.
No, he thought he was through. I didn't know how the show worked or anything. I had the same thing because I was dressed as Pun Man, so I went in spandex, like superhero outfit, big bushy eyebrows, and I go out and I'm like, "Hey, I read, man, I'm Pun Man. I'm here to save humanity from observational comedy and long form anecdote based humor." And they're like, "Whoa, no, who you really?" And that makes it even worse. Because I was still trying to be like, "I'm Pun Man," and they're like, "No, who are you really? Where do you have a job, son? You know, what have you got a family? Anybody else? Like, you know, they're doing all that stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Pun Man."
From Planet Pun.
Finally, I had to, Planet Cryptic Pun. But finally, I had to like just to be like, "Oh, my name's Leo Kearse. Yeah, I'm a consultant for BA Systems, and this is something I do at the weekends." And then, like, man, just destroyed. You know what I mean? Then after that, I've got to come. Hey, Pun Man, back in the room.
I would love to see that for real.
Do we know if any of the listeners are involved in Britain's Got Talent or just in the archiving of that show? I will pay you the entire like AdSense budget for what we've made from Three Speech if we can get our hands on those titles.
How much is that?
About £9. No, £25. £25.
But comedy doesn't work on Britain's Got Talent, because with me they were like, they loved what I did at Comedy Store, and then they basically took it all away.
Yeah.
So they were like, "You can't do that joke. You can't do that joke. I want you to do this song. Change the song." And then it was like, "Oh, and change your voice right at the end." Because when I do comedy, I start off and I like switch my accent from like this Marilyn accent to.
Do a Marilyn accent.
"Well, it's so nice to meet you, Darius."
Got a boner.
So I started off, and then people don't. Americans, they're convinced of it. And then you switch this Cockney, and they're like, "Save it right to the end." But with me on it, I think it got a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
It was on every tabloid. It was on Daily Mail, The Sun. It was like, Simon Cowell is in love with Marilyn, and Simon Cowell's awesome. I've met him many times, sung for him, sung for his mum. God bless her soul.
How tall is Simon Cowell?
About the same height as me.
How fast?
So
is
could you
Wi-Fi?
sing before, or you went and get singing lessons and shit?
No, this is the weird thing. Like I don't know what happened, because I could do her voice, I could sing like her, and like
Are you
now I'm in
married?
like. Yeah, that's what Marlon at TFL just said. He goes, "You're like her reincarnated."
Yeah.
It's amazing, because he's probably never met her, and yet he felt that. But yeah, it's weird. And like, I've worn her clothes. Like, that's so weird. You can't get closer to someone than putting on like their actual clothes. Like, I wouldn't even put on the clothes of like my mates. Like, and I've worn. Like,
You sound like Nico right now.
How did you get her clothes? Like,
well, so auction
Paul
houses.
Burrell.
Yeah, exactly.
The niche joke. Go on, explain who
joke.
Paul Burrell is.
Paul Burrell was Diana's butler, and he after she died, he would like pulled all the rings off her finger in the car while she was bleeding out. No, he nicked all the stuff. Allegedly.
No, he was giving it by the
No, he's giving it. He's giving all this stuff from the
I was
house.
giving these panties by
Yeah, it's a bit weird. But so auctions, they came up at auction houses, and they were like model them for the press. And it's kind of weird, because when like I wore one of her most famous dresses from Some Like It Hot, and inside it's like the top of it, if you watch the film, it looks like her boobies are out, like it's like see-through, but it's not. It's just like flesh. But they had these like little, and they look like corn plasters. They're like little nipple, like insert nipple things, and I had to like stick my nipple like through a little nipple insert,
and that holds it up.
Yeah, and I was just like,
No way,
that's
like an
so
IKEA
mad.
cabinet. with
It's
little
amazingly
dowels.
built, but I was like, oh, my nipples like when Marilyn's nipples. But it's kind of like, that's like kind of intimate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I had the same thing when I got some swimming shorts off Brian Blessed.
my friend actually bought the shorts of James Bond. You know, the ones coming out of the water, the blue ones.
Oh, really?
He owns them.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's your most
But-
famous friend?
Simon Cowell.
Is Simon Cowell on your speed dial?
Can we call him now?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's call him.
No, but do you know what? It was weird because I was in the Dorchester once with my friend.
So wait, Simon is more famous than Dave Chappelle, you reckon?
Yeah, but Dave Chappelle's not my
Yeah.
friend. I only met him once. Although I'd like to
okay.
say Dave Chappelle's my friend.
But
He
who's
was
more
so
famous,
lovely.
you reckon?
Simon Cowell in the UK, but I think Dave Chappelle in America.
I mean,
I
I've
don't
got
know.
Worldwide.
Simon Cowell is kind of famous in
Yeah.
America.
He's
'cause
big
he
in
was doing
America.
Actually, yeah,
America's
you're
Got-
right.
He was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
But
And
world,
obviously the
worldwide,
Teletubbies.
yeah, no, you're right.
Simon
think
Cowell's
Simon
most
Cowell.
famous.
Yeah.
worldwide.
Yeah.
More than Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
But Dave
I don't know,
Chappelle's...
maybe not more than Dave
No, he has a
Chappelle.
Netflix special, man. He got 6.
So,
but
but
it's
I
a,
thought you meant Simon Cowell then. I was like, I haven't seen that one.
it's a different... I guess it's a different... Like, amongst us, Dave Chappelle would definitely be more sort of famous and more respected and stuff.
but like ask someone's mum,
Yeah.
and then it's
Yeah,
kinda
my
like,
mum wouldn't know who Dave Chappelle was.
Yeah.
When I told her I'd met him, she was like,
who?
yeah, exactly. But yes, but Simon Cowell was lovely. But I remember, this is the problem when you...
He's got a house in Barbados, I think.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Sandy Lane, he's always there. But I was in the Dorchester and he said to me, oh, you and my brother Nick, I heard all about you. And I was like, I've only ever met your brother Nick for like 10 minutes.
Did Nick say, like, he shagged you?
Yes.
No
Yeah.
way!
And I said,
Like a
did he
12-year-old
say-
at school.
Yeah. And I said, you know, that's not true. And he says, don't wait till I see him. And I've never seen Nick since, but I think that's a pretty
Bring up
crappy
Nick
things to do.
Cowell so I can see what this guy
He's
looks like.
married now with like kids.
Well, and he made up a rumor that he shagged you.
Oh, do you know what? That happens all the time. Like even one of my friends, I got really angry about it because he said, I can't believe that you shagged this like dancer. And I was like, but that's not true. And
Is he more handsome than Simon? I think he is.
Don't know.
yeah.
Is he a property developer? He looks like a property developer. Or does he work for Simon?
I don't know.
Yeah, what does he do?
No.
I'm a big deal in Simon Cowell's
I just met him when I
business.
sung to their mum, who's now dead. And my birthday cake ruined the carpet at the Kensington Hotel.
So
Oh,
you
no.
didn't shag this guy?
No, that's the thing. Like, I haven't actually shagged that many people. So it's quite
Like
nice
Darius.
to walk around and then people can say it. It's not true. So,
I've shagged loads of people. Yeah, I've shagged
All
loads.
right, Nick Cowell, all
I've
right,
had
Nick
loads. I've had loads of girlfriends. Just they were on holiday when they happened. So yeah.
They went to a different school.
Yeah, they went to a different school and I knew just because I was on summer holidays, I had like 25 sexes. Okay, a couple of times you've mentioned that you're now a Christian. You have alluded to it. So did you have like a come into Jesus moment, Damascus moment? And also I'm noticing a thing that a lot more people, the so-called base reporters, you've mentioned it, Nico, are starting to cut their, if they're not Christian, they're spiritual. They're saying, oh, there's a, whereas the
Like
left,
Alistair.
yeah, Alistair, Maraisi to an extent, and a lot of people online as well. They're like, this world's moving away from God or whatever. So, how
think
would
when
someone
they
like
say-
you come and
well,
find
it's an amazing
God?
story. But when people say spiritual, I think it's because religion puts them off. Like if you like a religion, you've got to follow certain things. And I think with you've got to remember that Jesus wasn't religious. Jesus was actually anti-religious.
Yeah.
That's kind of why they killed him. So it's okay to say like you believe in Jesus, but it sounds so like you want to get a tambourine out. But if it's like, do you know what I mean? Like I believe in Jesus, but it's a nice way to be. But I do get worried now. A bit of people on the right are using the cross and using Jesus to kind of like, I don't know, to look like
people
a
in
gang.
politics using
Yeah,
religion
yeah,
to,
believe it
to
or not.
further their own gains. Like, get out of there.
Yeah, it is a tough one. But what happened to me was I had cancer, and it was stage 3, and I was in this room all on my own, and I had radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and I had to have internal radiotherapy, which basically
Jeez.
fries you from the inside out. 3 days on the run. So I was like, literally, my chance of survival was really small.
Jeez.
But look at me now. It's
You've led a
5 years
life.
ago.
Is
I have.
is
I've
that
led a
when
life.
is that when you found Jesus?
Yeah, well, he found me. So I was lying there and literally, this is so mad. I felt, and I thought it was the nurse. I was so frightened. The last day I'd had enough. I was like, I just want to die because I've had a life. It's like everything good happens, even in lockdown. Like everything was going well, crash. Every time in my life it goes crash. So I was just like, I've had enough. And at that moment, I felt somebody touch me on the shoulder. Like if someone touched you like this, right?
Westwood.
Yeah, it was Jimmy Savile. I've met him as well, Jimmy Savile. So someone touched me on the shoulder, and I was like, I felt so warm and so good, and all like the pain went away. He said, "Do not worry, I'm with you, and you're going to be okay." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I felt so good. And at the end, when all the treatment was done, and I went back into recovery. I had no drugs, right? Remember, so I have no drugs in my system. It's just radiotherapy, so you're not drugged or anything. And I went out, I was like, tell that nurse thank you, because they really made me feel amazing. And they said there was nobody there. There was no one there. And we saw you talking to them. So I was like, to my mum, I was like, oh, that's probably like that. I think I met Jesus, like God, like it felt amazing, like a big cuddle. And she's like, oh, it's probably like your nan or maybe your dad, because my dad was dead, obviously, like, you know. And I was like, no, they didn't care about me when I was
to be fair, that would still be pretty fucking
well,
unique.
But this is what changed it.
Jesus is good, but I mean,
how did you know it wasn't Allah?
Well, this is it, right? So this is how I knew. I kind of thought about it, but kind of forgot about it.
He's eating a pork sandwich.
I never said that.
Actually, Jesus wouldn't eat bacon sandwich. He's Jewish, so he'd be against that. It's halal for Jesus as well.
But I was watching, what's his name, Morgan Freeman, The Story of Religion, and he met this guy in 9/11, and this guy was in the 9/11 Twin Tower, and he said he was with these people and he was holding hands, and he said, like, let's just pray. And he said, and I felt this person touch me on the shoulder and say, do not worry, I'm with you and you're going to be okay. And he goes, I knew it was Jesus. And I literally dropped my cup. I was like, that's exactly what happened to me. Everyone around him died except this guy, and his wife survived in the other building. They have now left like financial, and they've gone back to India, and they like rescued trafficked girls, and it's like a really amazing story. And I was like, that's exactly what happened to me. Yeah. So and then there's been so many weird things where I look back on my life where I should be dead, and things have like got in the way, and I think it's got to be Jesus. It's got to be something, you know. It's got to be. And I've spoke to other people, and they've had like these revelation moments. So yeah, it's
and when was that? True. How long ago was that?
5 years ago. And then I went and got baptized in the River Jordan, which was amazing. And it's just like, and it's weird, isn't it? Because when you say like, oh, you're a Christian, people go, you don't look like a Christian. Like they expect you to walk around like no dress. Yeah. And it's like
ugly. Yeah.
And like Jesus never said that. Like actually he said, if you look at a woman with lust in your eye, gouge your eye out. So it's up to men.
Jesus, that's a bit heavy.
That's what he said. He was like, if you look at a woman with lust in your eye, like when you've got a partner, gouge your eye out. He didn't say girls, cover up. He never said that.
All right, so it's the one was on the men to.
He loved women. Jesus loved.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Mary
Magdalene.
Yeah,
that's right.
But I think there's like Christianity's sort of making a comeback with people on the right who want to sort of preserve Western liberal democratic values and freedom of speech and individual rights and things like that, because they're essentially sort of Christian values that, you know, the Europe.
That's what we're built on. Yeah,
Europe,
Red Dominion.
Europe was founded on Christian values, Judeo-Christian values, and you know, without getting into Hegelian didactism. Like that's what people.
That was Hegelian didactism for all our listeners out there.
I made that up.
I don't even know what that means.
I made that up. I just wanted to look smart.
I'm going to Google if that's actually is it a word?
Yeah.
Hegel was a German philosopher, I think, but I don't know what that. I don't know if it's relevant.
Isaiah 5:20. It predicts. I think I sent this to you guys.
The only one I know is the only one anyone knows. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all by the tyrannies and evils of whatever. I can't remember the rest.
Isaiah 5:20.
And I will strike down upon you with great vengeance and furious anger those who oppose and you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you.
Yep.
It's the one with bad motherfucker on it.
Yeah. It's a good way. But 5:20 is in the future. What is wrong will be right, and what's right will be wrong. And that's
that's where we're at right now. We got the Arts Council. We got the UK government funding like people going in to do naked sex shows for 5-year-olds, and like it's just insane.
It's been cancelled though. You saw that. To teach
them about gender queer theory,
the family sex show.
So let's talk about.
If you read Isaiah 5:20,
Jimmy Savile.
It'll frighten.
No. Like, we were talking about it just before we hit record.
Jimmy Savile.
No. Elon Musk.
So nice.
Oh, right.
Okay, Elon Musk has bought Twitter.
Can we also talk
in
about Jimmy Savile?
In Revelation, it says that the Antichrist will come as an angel of light, and it will come to save the world, and everybody will see them as a savior of humanity. And I don't want to say Elon Musk is.
So we're saying here today, right
be Bill
now,
Gates.
that Elon Musk. Well, I don't think he's a savior of humanity. We're saying Elon Musk is
But
the
he'll say he
Antichrist.
was, right?
Pardon?
He'll say, Bill Gates will say he's the savior. He's buying up all the farmland, and also it says in Revelation about buying all the farming land, and that people will like have to,
Well, you know
pay
what's
for food.
Isn't that-
interesting? I'll tell you what,
Get
Nico.
off
Why
your
don't you just
phone.
fucking phone everyone?
I'm looking for something. Man.
Okay,
What are you looking for?
just tell us what you're looking
Jesus.
for. Right.
Kind of like the 1 hour a week when you could just get off your phone and.
No, I'm looking for something related. To
You know
Earth.
what's been happening though? You mentioned Bill Gates buying up all the farmland in America right now. In the last 2 weeks, about 20 of their food depositories or food processing centers have mysteriously burnt down one after another. So people are saying, oh, they're actively planning for a food shortage. And it's happening. Bring up Mooch.
Why do you think they're making you eat non-meat meat?
Bring up the
Get ready, 'cause there won't be enough
But
meat
is that not
everywhere.
weird? 20 food processing centers have been burnt down in the last 2 weeks in America.
Maybe, but I mean,
Okay.
I haven't. I'd like to see this on a
Okay.
resource that isn't the internet. Just
No,
something
it's in
reliable.
it's like
You'd
stuff
like
from
to see it in a-
CBCC, BBC. Bring up the story, Mooch. You're so
It's on
slow.
CBBC.
It's on CBC
we have
or
to
whatever.
interrupt the
NBC.
Teletubbies to bring you this
Well,
story
I've got
about.
Snopes here.
Oh, okay.
Snopes is madness. Any of them fact checker sites is madness.
Well, I'm just
They're there to.
our food processing. Jesus Christ.
It's misleading.
Misleading, which means it's true. You know
Our food
when
processing
Snopes,
Yeah, to be fair,
fact
Snopes
checkers,
have
they're
been wrong a
all
few times.
they're all cons.
But no, I
They're there
think
to protect the mainstream narrative.
The claim of a new trend of fires at food processing facilities does not hold up upon scrutiny. Almost all the fires on meme lists involved explainable causes and were found no.
Explainable causes. It was on fire. That's the
Snopes is trash. Reuters fact checkers is trash. They're all trash.
Okay, well, let me go see if I can find any.
and that's why Snopes
Snopes
shouldn't.
was run by a con man who was involved in pornography and all sorts of crazy shit.
And that's why. Well, I'd like to know what Snopes says about that. But that's-
Misleading.
Snopes screwed themselves up by so they were calling stuff out in the election, like Hunter Biden's laptop story, all this
And
stuff.
they were accepting money from.
and they were saying stuff was wrong or misleading when it was true. And now, because of that partisanship, they've now fucked their credibility with people like me and Nico.
Yeah.
how you feel about Elon Musk purchasing Twitter.
Well, this is the thing. I think it's great, but this is the thing. Like when you say the Antichrist, when it comes, it'll come as an angel of light. I think wokeism is this thing where we're just trying to make everything nice and trying to reset like long-held inequities and all this sort of stuff. So they're coming, ostensibly to do good things, to stop racism and stuff like that. But what they do when they actually try and do that is very antichrist. So like, grooming gangs, they're like, oh no, we can't do anything about grooming gangs because we're worried about looking racist. So the grooming gangs operate, and that's the most hellish, most satanic like crimes of
What
humanity.
about if it's a double bluff? Like if you were watching this in a movie, like if you were in a different planet, and it was like, let's make people so sick of being nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by
Yeah.
that though? Like, it's like even gay people now going, I don't feel like, I think our rights, like Stonewall's gone crazy. So you're like kind of
Stonewall are now homophobic.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So it's like if you make something so like bad, you end up, the pendulum is going to be so far that now it'd be like, oh, someone got raped, so what? She shouldn't have been there. Oh, someone called you gay, so what? And it's like, if you're going to make, I was out the other evening and a guy that worked for the government, and he was saying that, I was like, yeah, Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter. And he's like, that's like the worst thing that can happen, because what he's doing, which brings back to the angel of light thing, is he's basically overriding government legislation of what you can and cannot say to harm somebody. So it's just like,
How's he overriding?
not yet, but if you can basically say free speech, like we all believe in free speech.
Yeah, but we're still
right?
governed by laws. So if you
Exactly.
defame someone or if you incite violence,
So if he's saying say what you like on Twitter,
but he's not saying that.
but if
Actually-
he did, let's see how let's see if there's any difference. I don't know. I'm just saying, let's see if there's any difference between him owning it and what he's going to allow people to say, because everyone's saying I can say what I like now.
Well, I think what one of the things that he was arguing was that we're going to be everyone is going to be verified.
Yeah.
So you can say what you want, but we will be able to see who says what.
Which is probably even worse, right?
Which I think may curtail some of the wild shit that is said.
Yeah.
Because there is consequences, and it's not like you're saying this through the anonymity of a egg.
An avatar, yeah.
Could be worse. So things that you might believe at that moment, when everyone changes their mind, there's no one probably here that's probably, but then they could probably go back and said, you said this, that's a crime, and we know you said it. And so I don't know. Beware of what you wish for. Sometimes. You've got to be careful.
Well, the key is if you're going to say that stuff, just say it in a WhatsApp group, rather than
which is owned by Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Or in a podcast studio when you think all the cameras are off. No, I don't know. It's an interesting one. It's going to be. It's really put the cat amongst the pigeons with a lot of people allegedly jumping off Twitter now. Jamila Jamil.
Yeah, she's got 1 million followers. She's going to be back. I retweeted her saying like, I bet she tweets again in 7 minutes. Because man, people like that, they're not going to. It's like before the election, it was like, if the Tories get in, I'm going to move to. It's like, where are you going to move to? You fanny. Like you're obviously going to stay.
All those Americans were going to move to Canada when Donald Trump got in.
Yeah, they'll stay.
Well,
Canada's worse.
Canada is
Yeah.
a mad place now.
What a crazy
Canada's going crazy, man. Like my friend who lives there, he's trying to get out, but he's not vaccinated, so he can't get out.
Escape
Are
from
you guys
Canada.
all not vaccinated?
I'm not vaccinated.
I'm vaccinated.
I'm vaccinated.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
No, you got a fake vaccination.
No, I haven't. I'm vaccinated. Stop saying I'm not. I love the vaccine.
I feel cheated.
I've got 7 boosters.
Is it because you had cancer?
No, to go to America.
Oh, okay.
So I had to go to America to the unveiling of Michael Bush, my friend who didn't turn up today and let us all down. He was getting a star, and I was speaking at it, and he flew me over first class. It was great, and I held my crucifix as they vaccinated me, and they were like taking the mickey out of me.
Did it start burning and shaking?
You know what I mean? And they're like, "Why are you holding your crucifix?" I was like, "Because I just don't like the fact that I'm forced to have this." And they said, "You're not forced." And I said, "Well, I am, because I can't go to America.
You can't
I
travel,
can't even go into
work,
my own country
Yeah.
where I'm born."
Actually, if you've got American passport citizenship,
Still had to be vaccinated.
Really? They
To
can't.
travel in the
Yeah,
flight,
to
to get on the plane.
Yeah.
I was under the impression, because this is what happened to my dad, right? But I'll come and get back to it. If you are from that country, no matter what, they can't not let you travel.
Yeah, but
Don't travel.
They can't not let you in.
The border will let you in, but the airline won't let you on.
If anyone's angry now about people not having the vaccine, it's because they're angry that they let themselves get vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm angry I let myself get vaccinated. I am. I don't want
I think the vaccine's good. I would have got I wish I'd got the vaccine, because remember I had COVID real bad, and I wish I'd got the vaccine. But the thing is,
stop you from nothing.
I'm disorganized and I didn't get it, and now I don't
I've
want
had
it.
heart problems since, and I don't care. People
Really?
Because when I used to, I'm quite,
Broken heart?
I'm quite fit, right? And I don't mean that. I mean like physically fit. And now when I work out, I have to stop.
Where's Jesus?
It really hurts. Like
He's helping her. He's spotting her with the reps. Come on, baby.
It's like it really I found my heart racing.
He only helps with
so
CrossFit.
Nailed
Sorry,
it.
Jesus.
That deserves that.
I'm a big fan of Jesus.
Jesus gave you your personality. So
Pun man strength.
Jesus is my guy.
Well, we nailed it.
Well, yeah.
CrossFit.
I spoke to another comedian who had the vaccine. They were telling me that he's had heart problems since he can't do any cardio-esque thing. He feels
Yeah,
like
it's
bam, bam,
definitely
bam, bam.
something we should avoid talking about in the podcast so we don't get demonetized.
Oh yeah.
the Oasis guitarist has got cancer.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Which one?
Bonehead.
They're all getting old.
I know. I met Liam Gallagher. It was brilliant. It was so nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Liam Gallagher's getting a hip transplant apparently.
What?
Yeah, he can't
Yeah.
run anymore, Liam Gallagher.
That is really old. All right, could just bring it back on track before we go. Funny
No,
story.
you got to talk more, man. I'm enjoying.
Okay, but I got. Well, I'm gonna have to
It must
leave.
be late for your.
It's the WWE.
Actually, I could just be late for
They
mine.
won't be expecting you to be on time.
That's a good
You
point.
just turn up when you want, Darius. You're the big star.
I am the big star, baby. That's right. Welcome to my work in progress that I've not worked
Yeah,
on.
I've got another hate message for having a picture taken with Piers Morgan on my.
Oh, really?
What
What
are
did
they
they say?
saying?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, they're like, one picture is worth 1,000 words. I'm disappointed in you.
Who's that?
Oh,
This is what I don't
God.
understand, right? It's like, if you don't like something, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to that? Like, I don't understand. Like, I look at pictures and I think, oh, that's a horrible picture. But I don't write, that's a horrible picture. I just don't, like,
Yeah.
get it. Like, why we always have to give our opinion
Yeah.
on things that we don't like.
that we haven't been
doesn't-
asked for.
like-
And also Piers Morgan, I mean, like, people carry on like he's some sort of Nazi or whatever, and I'm like, man, that guy is like far too left wing.
And he's super nice. I sent him a happy birthday. He put it on Good Morning Britain, which was great for me getting jobs. And when I was at this party and all the celebs were there, and you know, like celebs, even if they don't know each other, they pretend they do and like talk to each other. And I'm just standing there thinking, I need to leave here because I feel so awk. And he just came straight up to me, and he was my company. And as soon as he was with me and chatting to me, people came over and spoke to me. But he didn't have to do that. He could have gone, well, why should I? And I know you go, it's because he fancies you, but it wasn't like that. He was really, really
does
nice.
fancy
He did fancy.
If you marry a prince, watch how he turns.
And he followed me on Instagram, and he's got like 1 billion
Yeah.
followers.
Well, look, this is the other
Nice
thing as
guy.
well. People,
I got asked to
people
go on his show, and I couldn't go because I'm GB News.
I think people also misunderstand, like when you meet people in real life and then people are nice to you, like I hold that as a bigger value of someone's character than shit I've heard or what they're saying on Twitter or what's being said on Twitter. Because also you got to understand, Piers Morgan is a character on Twitter. I don't think he believes half the shit that he says. Yeah, he's the pantomime villain. He plays up to that. He knows his role. He's like the most loved or hated, depending on which side of the fence you are.
He's a heel.
During the he's the heel. That's a great example of it. During the pandemic, he kind of was holding the government to his holding government to rights about things, and people like, you know, I actually agree with him on some things, but some people couldn't bring themselves to sort of even agree with him because of who he was.
But even that, when you meet them, that's a false judgment as well, because you hear these people go, "Oh, I met this person and they were a dickhead." You can't judge it on that one meeting of that person.
Yeah, I agree with
because celebrities can have a bad day. They go through stressful times as well. They got million people coming up to them in the streets asking for pictures and autographs and whatnot. And there might be a time where they do have to hurry and don't have time to sign an autograph. And then that person goes, well, I saw blah, blah, blah. And he didn't have time. You know, he brushed me off.
Yeah.
And then they carry that story and spread it and say, oh, he's a dickhead. And so many times I've heard instances of that. And you can't just judge somebody on
And also some
one
of these
meeting,
stories,
you know what I mean?
Some of these stories must be made up. There's a brilliant story about James Corden that I really want to be true, but it sounds too made up.
What is it?
Apparently, this person was in business class, and James Corden's in business class as well, and he's like, he's sitting on his own. And so the person's like, oh, James Corden's here. And then like the steward brings through this woman with a baby and sits them down. They've obviously, you know, upgraded them because they've got a baby or whatever. Sits them down next to James Corden. The person's thinking, oh man, the celebrity is going to be pissed off that he's sitting next to a woman with a baby. But James Corden just like turns around, goes to sleep. And so the person's like, oh, James, that's so nice of him to, you know, he's got a baby sat next to him and isn't even supposed to be there, but just turns around and goes to sleep. And then plane lands, James Corden turns around to the woman and says, you going to get the bags down, should I? Or should I? So it's his missus. It's his missus. And she was travelling in economy. And then she, like, man. And then he, like, but doesn't even speak to her. But obviously, I think that's made up because it's too good a story.
Well, talking about business class, what about Mike Tyson punching the shit out of that
good.
guy in the face?
Funny.
Good.
That- just
he
as
did
a-
warn people. He warned people. He said people have got too comfortable with saying things on social
Yeah.
media and not getting punched in the face. So there's a warning. And I hope he sues that guy, you know.
And no one
Who,
even...
Michael,
No, I hope Mike Tyson sues him.
Well, Mike Tyson, the
but he
other
punched
guy,
him in the face.
so the other guy,
sued him.
when he landed, didn't press charges,
Right.
but has now hired a lawyer.
Oh, God.
But he says it's to do with the huge amount of media and press interest that and the media requests that he has got. So like he's lawyering up just to protect himself.
Nah, he's going to sue. He's going to sue Mike Tyson.
He would be
I
an
bet.
idiot not to sue if he likes money.
How
Yeah.
does press charges work? You only get one chance to press charges, or you can decline it and then go back?
I think you can go
I
back.
think you can go back, but I think
But will he win? He was like antagonizing. I mean, people say turn the other cheek, especially Christians. But the thing is if you're constantly on someone, like
But
it's
then
like you want to be punched.
The response has to be proportionate and has to
Yeah.
be legal. and his
Well,
response wasn't proportionate or legal.
Well, I mean, it all depends on what. Also, I think with regards to,
I think it was proportionate.
It wasn't
That's Mike
proportionate.
Tyson's punch. If he punched him properly, he'd be dead.
Well, that's what I thought as well. He did, and he kind of flicked him because Mike Tyson.
He was
actually
like
punched-
slapping him, like stop being
kinda look-
naughty. Mike Tyson was angry. The guy wouldn't be siding no lawyers. They'd take a flipping dead off the plane.
This is 2022 Mike Tyson, not 1986 Mike Tyson.
Pretty certain
I
2022
guarantee you
Mike Tyson would kill
Nah,
him.
it's soft as shit. I could batter him.
Man, you
Well,
shut
you can
yourself when
batter-
Elliot
Yeah,
Still
yeah,
was
yeah.
there.
Elliot turned up.
Did I shit myself? Tell me the fuck. You weren't even fucking there, you fucking
I
dumb
was there,
fuck.
you
How
were-
the fuck did I shit myself?
Elliot-
Tell me again how I shot myself.
Elliot, I'll call
You fucking-
Elliot right.
tell
I'll
you
call
shot
Elliot
himself.
right. What?
I'll
Elliot,
tell
come
you
out.
fucking-
Elliot, come in. Elliot, come in now. He's right.
Man, I'll tell you, shot themselves at that party when you ended up in hospital.
Yeah, I got beaten up by Star Wars nerd. The most
Being up by a Star Wars
the
nerd.
force is weak with
Leo,
this one.
Leo took me to some Star Wars themed nerd party. He goes, I was going to come to this house party. It's going to be great. I turn
It
up.
was.
It turned up.
It was
There's
great for me.
literally 2 women in the whole party. One of them is already with Leo, right? The rest is just all Star Wars nerds dressed as Star Wars nerds. To be fair, there was one other girl. She was pretty good looking, right? I said to them, can I charge my phone? And this woman was like, I can charge your phone. Come with me. And leads me off into the bedroom. Nothing happened, but she was chatting to me a bit and whatever.
Darius' savage autism protects his virginity again.
Yeah, it protected me. Anyway, I can't.
That's sexual assault, I think.
What? Well, no. Anyway, I came
Being assaulted
downstairs,
if you've got a boner.
and some nerd come up to me. Actually, he was quite stocky. The guy.
Oh, he's in
Oh,
the
he's
army.
suddenly-
He was in the
Stocky,
yeah. He was actually he's really ripped, about 6'7". I think he's a professional fighter. Anyway, he came up to me and he go, "What did he say?" He started asking me, like he's just talking to me. And he's a Star Wars nerd, so I wasn't really listening to him. And he was like, "Are you gay?" And he asked me like that, and I was like, "No." But I didn't. Someone said, "Yeah, it's like that's him trying to initiate a fight with you. He's asking you gay, whatever." But I didn't. There's no big deal for me if someone says you gay. In many ways, it's a compliment. Gay guys look good, right? So he's like, "You gay?" I was like, "No." Anyway, I'm not looking at him. He just smashes me right in the fucking face. He broke my nose.
Bet Darius would be way more annoying than that.
Yeah, I regret not picking up a knife in the kitchen. I was near there. I would have picked up a knife. I regret it.
I'll get you with this Maggi mix.
What? So he just punched you?
He punched me in the face. He
Broke his
He
nose.
broke my nose. I wasn't even looking. I was like looking away. He punched, but then I didn't know what was going on.
I had to take Darius to hospital.
He basically, he must have liked that girl, right? And that girl, he thought, oh, I've been with the girl, or the girl likes me, and he was
that's
jealous.
what it was. Yeah. Because I spoke to them after, because I only knew that lassie that I was upstairs with.
Okay, so
Like,
this is a new story to me right now as well, so everyone go on.
Breaking
So
news.
yeah, they like because he'd been friends with that lassie for ages, but obviously friends in a sort of I'm trying
Friend
to
zone.
bone you kind of way.
In a Piers Morgan,
Morgan
Suzie
situation.
Kennedy kind of.
So yeah,
That's
so
what it's
then
called now, like the Piers Morgan friendship.
he flipped out and like battered you.
Did you not jump in and beat up the
Man,
guy?
he was
There?
Upstairs.
He was upstairs with the other girl, so it was me against fucking 9 Ewoks. So I can't. You know this shame
And
of
when you came down, you didn't start some shit?
He gone.
Who, the guy ran off?
Yeah, he got in his car with some of his mates and they drove back to like Portsmouth.
Jesus.
This
So
sort of
ba-
stuff scares me though, because I had a girl once say to me, "You're really pretty, but you wouldn't be that pretty if I bottled you."
Whoa.
Yeah, and I literally was like to my friend, "We need to leave this bar." Because it's like
jealousy,
it's so,
madness.
But it's so quick, like,
Yeah.
and there's no real punishment. Like one of my ex-boyfriends, his girlfriend got acid in her face, and it's
Jesus.
like when your face is and there is jealousy, or like he's jealous of but you know if it's your face is your
It's a life-changing thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's and there's punishments are not that severe.
Yeah. No,
And they
Punishments
just
for
leave it, they don't-
anything these days aren't severe, whether it be that acid stuff, rape, all of these things.
They were
the
severe
people
if you misgendered me. Then he'd have
Well,
been.
this is it. I got a stalker at the moment that every single day writes the most horrendous sexual abuse stuff under my pictures, and I was like, oh, he's quite like a polite sexual abuser,
that's
because he was
Piers Morgan.
exactly. His
got a
asterisks
burner
in.
account.
I'll show you.
Dr.
It's
Kittenbender.
asterisks in stuff. So he's like, I want to this, and I want you to touch my this, and. But he asterisks is the words, and I was like, well, at least he's polite, but I have to delete it. But I'm realising he's asterisks in the
So
words.
you can't report it.
Well, no. So the algorithm doesn't pick up that he's writing dick and
Right.
hard and.
But on the
like,
plus
it's
side, Three
really-
Speech Pod just picked up another listener.
Definitely. I've got some super fans. Most of them are really, really nice. But I don't open pictures they send me.
So they've got a look. Actually, have you got any of those pictures unopened? Can we
Let's
have
a
open them
little-
now live?
This one was. Well, today I get these a lot. Have you heard of pay pigs?
Yeah, is that financial domination?
That's so weird. So I got one
Vicky's
last
a
night.
pay pig, I think. I've got a friend.
Queen. I've not accepted it yet. but
Accept
it's-
it right now.
Queen,
Can
do
I
you
accept
have
it and
PayPal?
message?
If so,
Yes.
can I
Please,
send
can you
you
send
money?
in my PayPal?
Just list your PayPal in your
Accept.
profile, and then they'll just send it
Yes.
straight to you.
Please
Oh,
send.
can you put my PayPal
No,
in?
putting my email address in. Please send to showjoy@gmail.com.
Because that sounds Showjoy. It sounds like. it
Please
could
let
be
me know
that.
if you get money.
gmail.com, big boy. Winky
We'll
face.
show Bob's and
See,
Virgin.
I won't do anything like that. I've got Cameo and I've made like £5,000 on Cameo just doing happy birthdays.
Look at
decent.
that.
That's good. That's a
Yeah.
smart one.
That
Look,
lady.
OnlyFans, like, nah, it's like minging.
No,
See if
that,
you've got any of those mad pictures.
that lady made 52 million.
You could have made
What?
52 million.
Really?
From
52.
OnlyFans. Bad. What's the name?
Oh, bad. Cash me outside,
Bad,
girl.
yeah, Cash Me
Yeah.
Outside.
She made
52.
52
Is she a
million.
rapper or something? Because Cardi
She
B
didn't
does
even
it.
get naked.
Bring up the
She
Cash
didn't get
Me
naked.
Outside.
Yeah.
Didn't, apparently.
Bring up Cash Me Outside. You not seen
I
the
was
Cash Me
offered to do a Marilyn porn and all that. I would never do this stuff. It's disgusting.
But was this before or after you were before or after you found Jesus?
No, before, like, my whole career, there was one in, like, Stringfellows where you can, when he was still alive, and they wanted to do, like, a lookalike porn film. It's just that I won't do anything. If it's anything like taking if this before I was a Christian, I don't know, because, like, I'm not judging anybody, like, you a porn star on, good for them if they love doing that. But to me, like, if you give that away, what's the point of having a boyfriend? Like, what are you going to give your
Yeah.
boyfriend if everyone's rooted you out? Or, you know.
There's Beckham coming out.
Said rooted.
Rooted you out, baby. Rooted
Do you know
you
what I mean? Maybe it's sexist. Maybe it is sexist. But
Yeah, so this is bad.
This
bad.
is bad, baby. The receipts.
What the hell?
this is one, but I think it's just going to be a picture
So
of
she's
him.
taken.
Oh, can I see?
166 mil, and then
What? 166 million? That's like a
That's-
country.
is that?
What
And then her
on
cut
earth?
is 52 million. 52.8 million. You might as well round that
So
up.
out
to
of
53.
166, she just gets 52 million.
Listen, I transitioning. Listen, get me some boobs.
I've been offered.
Mate,
There was
they-
a guy that offered me £10,000 to sleep with me. He was at a casino, and the woman came up to me and she's like, "Do you do anything else?" And I said, "Oh, I sing, I do comedy, like listen to all the things I do." And she's like, "No, like anything else?" And she goes, "Because the guy that just like one of our big punters, he wants to offer you money to sleep with you." And she goes, he said like $5,000, and I was like, "Oh no!" And she went, "What about 10?" And I was like, "No, I don't." But there was like, I went on a yacht,
What about-
and this guy I wanted to buy this Marilyn check, and he bought it for me. And he said, "Come to Monaco." And I was like, I don't really I'm not that kind of girl. So he hired me like to sing Happy Birthday. And I was there with Shirley Bassey. I was having dinner with Prince Albert of Monaco. Like, he's high up. And he's like, "I want to marry you." And then I got a phone call from Rolex. And they were like, "Hi, we understand you want a Rolex." I was like, "I don't want a Rolex." And they said, "Oh, he's going to buy one for you. Come down and Sebastian will buy
Holy
one."
What if
shit.
Boris wanted to sleep with you?
I've met Boris many, many times.
And
Would I sleep with Boris Johnson?
yeah.
I wouldn't sleep with someone unless I was in love with them. I really wouldn't.
That's nice.
So how do you feel about Marilyn Monroe sleeping with
JFK.
Kennedy?
Do you believe that though?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't even know, and I
100%.
believe it.
You don't know, but you believe.
Yeah, I
it.
believe
This is
it.
the thing. But I mean, in all fairness, if I don't personally think she did it, but I think it makes a great story and it's kept her image alive. I don't really know the dates. Don't really. So do you want to look at this? Hi,
Yeah.
Susie. How are you? You're so gorgeous. I would like to date you. This media is hidden, and I've not blocked or reported it.
Should
But
we-
it's probably just a picture.
You media.
Should we open
Should we, no,
this?
let's take some bets. What do we think it is?
I think
all
it's
those
pictures.
Okay,
His face.
so the
Cock and
guy,
balls?
the guy's, can
Is it a man?
His guy's name is Brendy. Can I click through on his profile? Why not? Yeah, we can look at his profile.
I hope this guy isn't like a proper scare.
Let's have a look. So Brendy. Oh, this is on Twitter. It's not even on Instagram. Oh, this
Twitter
could
is
be.
the pay pigs.
Brand-
Oh, this could be. Oh, obviously there's no service in here. Well, this could. So the media is hidden. I would like. So this is the message. It goes, "Hi Susie, you're so gorgeous and beautiful, Rose. I would like to date you. ... This media is hidden." Okay, so what do you think it
It's
is?
going to be his face.
I think it's fear.
No, I think it's going to be his dick. Don't open it yet, Susie. I want to see.
Well, let's see. Let's see what it is.
Let's see.
Can we see it on camera?
Yeah. It's got, well, we could
just
see it on camera if we
I
had
feel
any.
bad for this guy.
if we had
He's
any
lonely with like
reception.
mental health issues, and we're just like humiliating.
It's loading. It's loading. Man, why is the internet in this place so slow?
Are you on the
Do you want
internet?
to tether to my... oh, yeah, don't use the internet. Use the...
This is why I
This
ask
is
about
great podcast.
It
broadband.
must
Well,
be.
that's why I ask about broadband
Great
speed.
podcasting.
Right, before you,
listening to
while you sort out the internet,
It's him in the dark.
it's not him. There's a
Him in
news.
bed.
There's a news story just came out before we went on air, and the headline is, one second, the headline is, what is it? Guardian says, comedy is a powerful recruitment
Oh,
tool.
yeah.
How the US right wing uses laughs for vast influence. I think it's not that it's a massive influence tool. I think it's that left wing comedy is so shit that the right just happened to get it just by virtue
I
of
don't
being
think
funny.
I don't think left wing comedy or right wing comedy.
Much love to laughing.
No. I just don't. I think like
Left wing comedy shit, Mooch. You know it.
well, if we're talking about
Hey, shit.
political comedy, then fine. I'm not a fan of
and
that.
also comedians who are left-wing.
No, not at all.
Yeah, any comedian who's left-wing.
Name one good left wing comedian then.
James Ross,
James Ross.
Chris Coltrane.
No,
Yeah.
but like, there's people who are left leaning as well. Darius, you're left wing.
No, he's not. He's savagely right-wing.
No, I'm left of centre.
You're left of
No,
centre.
you're not. You're right of centre.
Russ.
I'm probably right of centre now.
Well, I'm trying to think who is.
Funny left wing comedian. Go on.
Yeah.
Mark Still,
I don't know who Mark still is.
Elliot's dad.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
we're going back 50 years to
Yeah,
find a
well,
funny
that's
one.
we have to go back 50 years to find a racist one in Jim Davis. Which is only fair.
well, I'm trying. Who are the big left wing comedians? Then?
Nish Kumar.
Okay.
He got pelted with like dough, didn't he?
Bread rolls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they were racist, not because he was doing a bad joke.
No, it wasn't.
No,
But like,
Sure.
I've not seen Nish's stand up. I've only seen the fucking what's called the
Mash Report.
which is
But I don't know. I feel like there's.
Dross.
I mean, would you class yourself as right wing, or you're just showing stuff?
Leo's
that's funny?
definitely right.
Leo
maybe,
is, yeah.
Savagely.
maybe you a little bit, but,
viciously.
But I don't know. I don't know.
The right
like,
wing rejects Leo though. And
Yeah, they do.
Thinks he's drank the Kool-Aid.
They do.
some
they
of
say,
the,
they
a
say
lot
I'm
of our
not right-wing
followers
enough.
are like
Yeah.
just because of your status, your
And they
opinions
think
on
you're
Russia.
an NPC.
Yeah. Whereas
then-
Darius and Nico are the full-on...
I'm
like,
base, baby. I'm bath. I know everything. Go on, ask me any
eating a
question.
certain type of pill. I'm not sure which one exactly.
Al Vance.
You're Elvance pilled.
Yeah, Al Vance.
But then I'm right wing if putting up a picture of like. I didn't like Joe Biden, so I was right wing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you
And-
don't like someone, you're just like.
Well, this is the
you're
thing. I
right-wing.
think like Russell Brand was labelled as right wing, and it's
I mean,
quite
come on.
obviously not
Yeah.
right wing. Do you know what I mean? So and like I haven't seen his comment. This is the thing when
He's certainly
you talk-
left-wing in his approach to women.
I think it's if you're talking about actual comedy and what their comedy is like and what their political leanings are, it's kind of I think a lot of people are like, do I like that person rather than actually do I like their comedy?
Yeah. I think the left have made it like this Guardian article that says, oh, right wing, like comedians are using, or the right wing are using
This is a massive
comedy to recruit for the far right. And it's, like the Guardian says it's far right. No, this is just the woke left have become so ridiculous. So utterly ridiculous that
Zubi had this
when we
great-
take the piss out of them, like they're like, oh, you're being far right. It's like, no, we're actually just being normal and we're spotting ridiculousness.
Zubi had this great tweet where he said, "Some people think I'm extreme, but I'm just a normal person from 2012."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
This is it. But then I'll be classed as not being a feminist because I said that girls shouldn't go to men's rooms at 3 o'clock in the morning to talk about
Yeah.
work. Like
Well,
that's just a
this
common
is the thing.
sense
There's no
right?
there's no nuance in discussion. Like so, like what you're saying. There's elements of truth to that. If you've got a daughter and you're gonna someone says come to my room to discuss your future in this industry at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna say, look, that's not a conversation about that.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be like,
Well, I'm going to say don't be an actress. If you're an actress, you're putting yourself at the mercy of these villains, these crooks who exploit. You might as well like be a prostitute or be a trafficked. Like it's horrific. Hollywood is a cesspit of paedophilia and exploitation and the
But
worst in humanity.
I also do think that there are manipulative people out there who are who will basically use their positions of power, like we discussed with Moresi. So if you don't sort of do as they want,
Yeah.
they will stop opportunities for you, and that's happening to both men and women. So we can't, say, oh well, this is, these women.
But it's funny when it happens to men.
This was happening a while ago though, because I did jobs for Vinnie Jones, and I remember it was when Dennis Wise was playing for Chelsea, and they said, right, take a bit with Marilyn, and Vinnie Jones went, I'm really sorry, I can't have my picture taken with you.
Why?
And what is it? And they said, why? And he said, because I don't know where that picture ended up. I don't know what kind of girl you are. You could sell that picture. And this was like, I'm going back like 12 years ago.
I mean, heaven forbid that somebody ruins Vinnie Jones's reputation.
But you know what? I was like, that's cool. But then years later, he kind of knew that because I was still on the scene. I mean, if I wasn't a good girl, you wouldn't still be getting jobs 20 odd years later, right? And he ended up hiring me for his dad, Peter Jones, to sing to him. And he's like, I'm really sorry when I said that thing. But you don't know, there's some girls out there.
Well,
and that's why Dave Chappelle locks everyone's phones up. I haven't got...
Yeah.
And I wrote to his friend who takes all the pictures on his tour. And I was like, oh, please give me that picture of us together. Even the one of us like bantering on stage and like he shook my hand and all that. And he's like, Dave Chappelle won't give any pictures like that.
Right.
And you can't blame him because, you know... I mean, I went backstage Dave Chappelle and he was lovely. Nothing happened. Please, Dave Chappelle can have the picture now.
But it's like, let's say you had pictures with Russ Monkey with a gun.
So I don't, but there was who was it?
He was, just to explain for the listeners, Russ Monkey with a Gun was a comedian. He was pretty shit, to be honest. Yeah. But he got some decent gigs and stuff. But it turned out he was a paedophile, a proper full-on.
Was this the one who's on the caught on camera? Like on the paedophile hunters.
No, that's a different one.
Convicted or something.
He'd been at jail. He'd been at jail for paedophilia. He was at school, like looking after the kids officer, and he'd used that position to get into so he's the person that would look after. If they went on a school trip or whatever, he'd stay in the fucking horrific stuff. And he groomed this kid and was taking photos and everything. So evil stuff.
So he basically. What Leo said, but he was named under something. So when he started doing comedy, he called himself Russ Monkey with a Gun. Yeah. Which, to be honest, everyone thought that's a bit weird.
And
but
it's weird. He used to hang out with this young-looking boy as well.
But you know
something
so strange. Yeah.
But I got to go in a 14. Second. But it's funny, right?
Because I'm meeting someone at 6 o'clock.
I did a gig with I did a gig with Russell Kane, and Russell Kane just happened to do a gig with him and just took it. Go ahead, take a picture of you. Yeah. Then the next day it said paedophile comedian, good friends with Russell Kane. He's like, I don't even know the fucking guy.
This is it.
But that's why Russ Monkey with a Gun, because he had all his photos taken with Phil Dupitis and all the rest of it. That made it a story for the paper. If he hadn't had his photo taken with famous people, the paper wouldn't have had a story to run. Yeah. So Russ Monkey with a Gun built his own petard to hoist himself by having his photos taken and also by noncing kids.
That's probably the main one.
And he tried to groom me because he left a comment on my YouTube video saying, so fantastic, Darius. Can't believe you've got this going on.
Oh my God, he basically touched your dick.
Yeah, he touched my dick.
Disgusting.
I was once again a victim of abuse.
I had a great picture of me and Jimmy Savile and an Oscar. The actual Oscar.
Oh, you met Jimmy Savile?
I had to take it down because...
Why?
And I left it up for a while and they're like, aren't you going to take that picture of Jimmy Savile and you down?
Why don't you just...
what was Jimmy Savile like?
He was so nice. And people say... And this is the weird thing.
Innocent.
This is the weird thing. It came he's a professional, right? But when it happened...
Look at Leo defending Savile, but rinsing
he's
Jackson.
a horrible person. But when it came out, everyone was like, even with the Netflix thing, they're like, oh, he's evil. I've never met him, but he's evil. I've never met him, but he's horrible. I've never met him. And I was like, well, I met him. And obviously he is evil what he's done. I said, but I met him and he was so professional. He was... You can see why he got away with it. Well, also, but then they said he was into dead people and I do look like a dead person. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been dead for a long time, 60 years this year.
But so you have to go now. I have to go.
I do. I have to go. I'm literally supposed to be in Paddington at 6 o'clock. And it's 6 o'clock.
So
listen, I'm not in Paddington.
Suzie, thank you so much for coming on the pod.
So wait, Suzie, are you married?
No, I'm single.
You're single.
Ooh.
I'm single. And I need some comedy gigs. So guys, help me out on both of those things.
I can help you.
I can help you.
Actually, we can help you out on the gigs. I mean, I don't think you want to meet any of our friends at all.
Yeah, they're single for a reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think that though, because I've got to that age now where anyone who is, oh no, I can't say it.
Actually, I can introduce you to Tyrone.
Anyone who's single is usually something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But then what's your excuse?
Well, because I think it's different because I have had boyfriends, but unfortunately, because I've been on the road, you know this, you had a girl from Australia. So I had a nice boyfriend in Germany, then lockdown happens, 2 years lockdown. I'm like, we're not dating, are we? I had a boyfriend in America, then I had to come back to England and long distance
Is Pierce single?
Work.
Would you go with Pierce?
I love Piers, but he's not single.
He's not.
If he was
Married.
single, would you
Yeah,
go?
100%. Piers is fun.
But he's
I like
ugly.
Piers. I don't think Piers will. Do you know what though? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm not really into looks. To me, it's the brain. If you're
You've just made
intelligent-
all 905 of our listeners and
I
watchers.
do though. Honestly, looks do not impress me. I've sometimes gone out with guys just to impress my gay friends because they're like, he's hot, go out with him. And I've literally, I can't say that. That's too much.
I was
don't-
once approached by a modeling agency in Newcastle.
What were you going to be
Yeah, it's in Newcastle though. That's not impressive.
No. It was. It
When I
actually.
walk into Newcastle,
What
I'm
were you
going
gonna
to
be
offer me the
modeling?
keys to the city.
It actually
were you
had.
going to be modeling balaclavas?
No. It actually
we see
had.
you've got all your teeth.
No. It actually had two famous people on it that were like actors slash
Yeah, and
models.
Deck.
I can't
So
remember.
so quickly, what happened? What happened then? You approached by them and what happened?
I was walking through a mall in
Yeah,
Newcastle.
but why are you not a male model now?
Because I was going to uni.
What, you couldn't stop and say, yeah, please sign me to be a male model?
No, I was like, I paid.
I'm at uni. I just did a TV commercial.
I paid 30 grand for this degree or whatever, so I got.
Oh, yeah, you actually
focus
had to
on my
pay.
studies.
Oh, in your economics. What
But
did you...
yeah, but no, it had famous people. I went and checked it because I thought it was a prank, and I went on the website and checked out the thing,
Cool.
and it actually had famous people on there.
And you're not at uni anymore, so if the agency's watching,
Yeah, hit a man up. I lost my hair though, so
To be fair, you look like Cat
model
Williams then.
baseball caps.
Quickly, Susie, tell us where we can follow you, what's going on.
Follow me. I'm blue ticked, which means I'm real.
She's the real deal, baby.
I'm real on at Suzie Kennedy, SUZIE Kennedy, and I hope that guy on Twitter doesn't respond giving you money.
And if the picture
for my
does come up,
Oh, yeah,
can you
can
send
we
it
see
to me and we'll send
yeah,
it to our
and
follow
no
show
pay
on the
pig
thing.
requests. They're so disgusting. They're like, let me send you stuff and
Send-
you wear it and I pay you.
Stop
it's weird.
sending her
Send-
free money. Is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
no, I'm not
Pay
that
pig
kind of girl.
requests. Pay
This is
pig
where you can
requests
cut-
all
Send it
come to
Darius
us.
and he's- Oh yeah, there you go.
Not
That's
replied
me in
yet.
bed.
Now, if you want
Ooh.
to see, you got a show.
Yeah, on Saturday the 14th of May at 7 p.m. It's my live
Amazing.
band. It's a comedy
what do you
show.
do?
It's basically
You
like
sing?
living as Marilyn. Well, it's stand up. It's like living as Marilyn, but because it's this venue, you have to inject some songs into it because it's an hour and a half.
And do
an
you
hour
write
and
your
a half.
material yourself?
I write all my material. It's about my life, and it's pretty.
Why are you coming
Crazy.
waking up now, Nico? Suddenly coming out with some good questions. Listen,
Yeah.
I've got to go.
Yeah, me too.
So I'll
I'm
think
literally
by.
so late. I'm actually should be somewhere else. Why I'm
Right.
Should we wrap up then? We've done an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
my stand-up's funny.
Which should we say bye while Darius is walking about in front of the cameras?
Bye.
Bye,
Darius.
everyone. Thanks for listening.
Like, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah,
Can you just
podcast, I love
fucking
it.
like and subscribe? Why'd I have to every week ask you this? Please.
Like and subscribe. We're gonna start
Is
the
it yours,
Patreon
by the
soon. Patreon is coming,
Oh, yeah, any day now we're going to get organised. Honestly, it's going to happen.
and Coyote is coming to a city near you. All right, big up.
All right. I got to run.